It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah, we'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC's 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Early on the target, right hand from my boy, double jab.
Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's pain-free Friday. Ferrall's doling out minutes on a mahogany, waxing it up. 100, 200, the bad seed, the broken day, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags to ready to traffic, some kind of fashion shake-up shadoobie. Along with the original golf ticket casher, the master of the tater, the long ball, the Schwarbomb, your boy Carver High this afternoon. Mafia running it with Luke. I am your father. C2C Friday. We got a lineup for you. How about this? The reversal. Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider, in the first hour, switching up with Morency, who goes to the third and final hour with a double shot from Vancouver tonight. In between, Coach James Young talking rack. And, of course, at the end of this first hour, Gino Bacola, who is with the Daily Racing Forum. We'll get Gino's snags for the weekend in horse racing and whatever else he's gambling on. He's always throwing extra bits our way. Thank God for that, Carver High. What's been going on? I've been watching track and field at the Olympics in Paris.
Yes, there's been a lot of track and field. This is the first time that, of course, they've been out in the stadium during these Olympics, and you're going to see a lot of that over the next week and a half. I saw, what were they doing? The high jumping going over. Then they had the decathlon going on.
Yeah.
That's just impossible. I mean, these guys doing several events. You got to be kidding me with all of that. But we do have other things as well. Germany and France in the men's hoops. This is the final game of the day there. And this game actually, Scotty, is to win the group. The winner of this game will win that Group B. Both of them being 2-0 so far. Germany out to the 6-4 lead. So you could go watch your boy Wembanyama on the court, which I believe is on, if you wanted the standalone of that. I think I saw that that's on. You're going to love this. It's on the E Network, E Entertainment Network. I believe has the Wembanyama game.
I think I get that.
So you have that. Yeah, you get that. Absolutely. We'll get that for you. And that is a long ball in the Cub game. Who hit that? Michael Bush going deep. 5-0 Cubs in the bottom of the second in the Businessman Special out at Wrigley. Cubs pouring it on here after the walk-off last night against the Redbirds. I have other things going on as well. Egypt just tied Paraguay in that knockout round for the men's soccer in stoppage time. They will now go play extras. I'm not sure how the Olympic format works, Scotty. I think they play the 30 and then the kicks if they need it. but Egypt and Paraguay in that elimination game, and France scores immediately against Argentina in the last quarterfinal of the knockout round in the men's soccer. Of course, the United States lost to Morocco earlier this morning. They are eliminated from the tournament. Morocco will play Spain in the semis, and the winner of these two games that are going on will play each other as well. I was watching the Joker before. I know that he's in action as well. I'm pretty sure he was beating the Italian dude. He took him in the first set. I don't see it on the board anymore, so it's either over or he's almost over for the Joker. And did you see the rally from the women's 3-on-3 team today, Scotty, winning not once but twice to get themselves back to 3-3 in pool play at the 3-on-3 and having a chance to make it into the knockout rounds now, unlike the men who still haven't won a game, I believe. I believe they're
How
still
did
with
they
the
turn
bagel.
it around? They stunk too.
They stunk too, but they're back in the mix. They have made themselves a rally. I have to see how many teams make it out of that pool play in that. But actually, they're going to play, tomorrow they play China, the women, and the men are playing, I believe, in a couple minutes, Scotty, 4:30. They play China as well, and they're 1.5-point favorites. So good luck with that.
So I found the Germany-France game, and it's happening, but they're delaying it on the TV side. So, while it's going on, it says here that it's coming on at 3:50 Eastern on that E. Right now they got track and field on there, and this is highly unfortunate.
That is highly unfortunate. By the way, the men did win. They had a double dip today. They beat France in their first game today, the men's 3-on-3. So they got themselves a win finally. Jimmer and the crew. With only 3 players. I think that Jimmer's done, Scotty. I think that Jimmer couldn't play. They ran with just those other 3 guys in that win that they had over France today. So they're going to play China coming up here at 4:35 East is when they will play once again here this afternoon. So that's a lot of Olympics. We're going to keep you going with everything happening there. I mentioned as well the women's the beach volleyball. Hughes and Chang are going to play at the top of the hour, too. So we have that as well. The golf is done with 2 rounds. They will head into the weekend, a 3-way tie for gold at the top. Hideki Matsuyama, Tommy Fleetwood, and Xander Schauffele. That is a heavy hitter top of the board. I know Rahm is only 2 shots back as well. So lots of big names going for the gold this weekend. I will give you all the numbers later on here on C2C. But Matsuyama with the double bogey on 18 today to get everybody into a 3-way tie at 11 under. I loved it.
Well, and this is the same conversation we had yesterday. Who's in the pack? Xander Schauffele, who's already won a gold medal in the Olympics, and he has won 2 majors this year. So let's just say he's seeing it lately.
He is seeing it lately indeed. I told you that we have afternoon day ball, the businessman special, out at Wrigley Field, 5-0 Cubs in the top of the 3rd inning as they've got that homer from Bush. I saw Betancourt hit a 3-run homer before that. We have lots of action that we are going to get to tonight. Full slate of baseball. Everybody's going to be in action. We'll have some games from last night that we have to go over as well. We had our first NFL game of the season, if you would like to call it that.
Yeah.
Man, what a disaster that was if you had tickets on that game, Scotty. Not going the full length and basically having to rip them all up.
Yeah, so no one got paid on that game, right? How funny is it that they call it a final, they call it a game, they give the Bears the win, but none of the houses pay out on any of your tickets? I mean, this morning I played ball, and one of my guys, he loves action, and he had action on the game and on the spread and the total. He had 2 winning tickets, and he didn't get either. They didn't give you the money. They just gave you your bet money back. Is that about right everywhere?
I believe the only things that paid out was the first half markets were all paid out, obviously, because they played a half. And the total was paid out because it had gone through the total already. So they had already gotten past that 32.5. So if you had the over, you were in good shape. If you had the under, you weren't in good shape. But everybody else, I believe,
Everyone
Scott,
around
you
here
got
had the under yesterday.
at 55. Everybody, only one who was with the over was your boy Joey Prawns last night, screaming about the over on the Carver and Lisi radio show. So Joey Prawns, and then he had alt numbers too. He had 41.5, 42.5, 43.5, and they were at 38. So let's just say he wasn't pleased when they didn't play the last quarter and a half.
Very upset.
Very upset, Joey Prawns, with all of that. So we've got lots of that to do. We'll talk about USA. They play their last game tomorrow against Puerto Rico, and apparently Kerr is going for it all. Scott, he wants to win by as much as possible to make sure they have the top seed in the knockout round. So maybe we lay the 30 points against Puerto Rico tomorrow. It's possible.
They're going to spank that ass tomorrow. That team has nothing. Alvarado and nothing else.
It's true. They got nothing going on, that team. Big show. Big Friday.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Media have already said that they are going to be horrible. The books have them, as we'll see in a moment, at a win total of 5.5. Sean Payton, though, Scotty, he does not listen to preseason prognosticators.
That's your future, and it's on you. They selected him. They wanted him. That's what they got. And now he has to build that from scratch.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The Yankees are desperate. I mean, they can fire hitting coaches and everything else, but it's not working. So I don't know if Cashman really would do that. They seem to be so, tight-knit, but something's got to happen.
A big award or a big prize in the trade deadline sweepstakes would be Vladimir Guerrero Jr., right? Vladdy, put him in the middle of the lineup.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Or maybe the one later? Put a little BetMGM action on it, and now any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, you're in it every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball. Maybe it's not even a ball.
Who needs a ball?
Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hole, a lap. Right from the edge of your seat. Hit him with the promo.
So Adam Kaplan is our NFL insider, and you can follow him on X at Kaplan NFL, and he's leaving after this show today to go to, I believe, Los Angeles. He's flying from Philadelphia to Los Angeles tonight, and he's going to be covering all these camps out in Southern California. It sounds pretty stacked, your schedule.
Yeah, I got the Raiders and Saints tomorrow. And then I've got the Chargers hosting the Rams at the Bowl. the Chargers' new facility in El Segundo near LAX. And then I'll come to you after you and I will be back together on Monday. It's either going to be Monday or Tuesday, but I'll have been to Jets and Commanders later in the week. On Monday, it's the Giants hosting the Lions, and then I fly Monday night to see the Dolphins hosting the new-look Falcons, man. That's what it's all about. A lot going on these next 5 or 6 days.
Wow, that is just incredible. So let's talk about some things today. Why don't we start with the kid May up in New England? They've been giving Brissett the majority of the QB1 reps, but now they're going to let May do his thing a little bit?
Yeah, we need to talk about this because I think what happens sometimes people overreact. Yes. Ferrall, Jacoby Brissett, barring something unforeseen, will be the starter week 1 when they play the Bengals. However, Drake May is yet to get work with the ones. And Gerard Mayo, their head coach, did say this week the plan is soon to get Drake May, the 3rd pick overall, reps with the first-team offense, because that's when you really know where he is. You and I talked about this before the draft. I told you he'd be a top 10 pick, but he was a project. You don't want to rush it when you're an NFL team and you inherit a player you know is a project. You don't want to rush it. But at some point, he's going to play this season. And they want to see what it looks like this coming week with the practices, because right now you get to the 3rd week of training camp. Then, the following week, you got the first preseason game. They play the Eagles, right? They also have a joint practice with those Eagles in Foxborough. And that's when you really know. When you ratchet it up, practice to practice to practice, you get them reps with the first team. That's when you know. But before then, you're not going to know quite where he is. You know, from the practice tape and being with him every day, you kind of get a general idea. But you want to see this great arm strength. He's a pretty good athlete, by the way, but he's very raw and he needs more work. But I'm very interested to see how he does with this first-team offense. And, by the way, a revamped wide receiver group with the Patriots.
Well, when he came out of North Carolina, when we were watching him in college, he was, a top 5 quarterback that was going to be drafted in the NFL. And everyone talked about how big his arm was and how he could get out of the pocket and throw on the run and that he could take off running, and started doing more of that his last 2 years in Chapel Hill. What changed from him being so talented and so automatic to hearing you say raw?
All right, let's take the latter of what you talked about. You talked about him able to roll out and throw on the run and make great throws. The problem was accuracy, bailing from the pocket when he shouldn't, staying in there. He's got enormous arm strength. Yes, he's an athlete. Sure, certainly when you get pressure, he can run. You know that going, he could do that. But he's got to hang in there. He just had some habits when I talk about being raw. He had some habits that needed to be cleaned up. They've got Jacoby Brissett there as an insurance policy, one of the best backup quarterbacks in the National Football League. Remember when he had to fill in for the Colts when Andrew Luck suddenly retired? He did a very good job. This guy's been there and done that. He's also been drafted by the Patriots, so they know him very well, that organization. This is the perfect guy to mentor Drake May, who's got a lot of work ahead of him. And the other thing is, look, they've revamped their receiver core. It's going to take them a while to develop chemistry, but the earlier they get him in there, Scott, and develop that chemistry, the better off they're going to be for the long term.
Big things are expected from Jameson Williams in Detroit this year.
Yeah, we need to talk about this because, look, the first 2 years, not great. First year, remember he's come back from the ACL injury, didn't do much, only had 1 catch last year, 24 receptions, but he was playing a ton of snaps at the end of the season. But 3rd year, former first-round pick. At some point, the lights got to go on, and what I'm told is the lights going on. What I was told with him was route running needed to improve, maturity needed to improve. He had to take a big step this offseason. He's felt what I was told is the urgency, and then Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, talked about it this week, and he basically talked about the next step. He's doing all the right things. This kid is super gifted. You saw it in the playoffs. He came on a little bit, and this is his season. You got Amon-Ra, St. Brown opposite him, who signed that extension. You got Sam Laporta, the excellent tight end. If you like fantasy football like you and I do, this is the season for him. By the way, he's going late in drafts. He's going the second half of drafts because they're not sure whether to trust him because he didn't have that great season last season. But this is a year, from what I understand, the maturity is hitting. The light has kind of went on. I'm expecting a big year for him. I'm expecting 60 catches or more from Jameson Williams.
I can't wait to see if he takes his game to another level. What about King Henry? How's it going so far with him and the Ravens?
All right, I was there yesterday, and I could tell you, Scott, I could tell you, as one person said with the Ravens, how are teams going to defend us with Henry, as you mentioned, Lamar Jackson, his ability to throw and run. There's two excellent tight ends, and Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. I mean, they've got so much going on here. And just watching practice, watch the defense to react, whether Lamar's going to hand it off to Henry or is he going to roll out or run or throw the football. I'm so looking forward to what this offense looks like this season and what that division, how the AFC North is going to handle it. Man, I get why they try to trade for him at the trade deadline. Henry still has something left. There's no question, and I can't wait to see what this offense looks like. It's going to look different, though, because they got a big-time power back in Henry.
I think one of the exciting things will be to see the same look as before, is that the Steelers beating him twice. Beating him in Baltimore, beating him in Pittsburgh. I think I'll go to the game in Pittsburgh. What a rivalry. Adam, have a great trip out to Los Angeles. Have a safe flight. We look forward to your reports again on Monday from Adam's summer circuit around the NFL.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here, warriors, and I have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Early on the turn.
Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
The BetMGM First Bet 1500 is phenomenal. Everybody's talking about it everywhere. How do you get it? 4 easy steps. 1, download the BetMGM app on iOS or in the Play Store and Android. And BetMGM.com, you can also get it. Sign up, deposit at least $10 into your new account. You're off and running. 3, place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets. If the bet loses, you heard me. And 4, if the bet does lose, your bonus bets are going to be available once your initial wager is settled. In layman's terms, you can make your first bet up to $1,500. You lose the bet, when that is settled, they're going to put $1,500 in bonus bets right back into your account, so it's like you never lost. It's the greatest concept ever created by man. It's more important than walking on the moon. It's clear to me now everyone needs to get in on the Bet MGM, first bet 1,500. Let's go.
I thought for a moment there you were going to say it's clear to me that everyone needs to get a chance to walk on the moon. I thought that was going to be something. Everyone should get a chance to walk on the moon.
Did you see the movie, the fake moonwalk movie that they made?
The fake moonwalk.
In the airplane hangar?
The airplane hangar. A couple of things here. First, Germany up 10 on France right now in the second quarter, 28-18. So Wembanyama and the crew, they got some work to do there at home against Germany to try to win that pool and move on and be one of the top seeds in the knockout round. Lots of time left, though. 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Also, the soccer, Egypt and Paraguay quarterfinal game. They're in extra time, the 110th minute. Still 1-1. Of course, Egypt tied that game right at the end to force the extra time. Winner's going to play the winner of the France-Argentina game. That's like a final type game in the quarters. France scored very early. They still have a 1-0 lead in the 26th minute. It is official as well, Scotty, in the tennis. You will get, I believe it is tomorrow, Djokovic against Alcaraz for the gold medal in the singles.
Right.
I see Alcaraz already at minus 250, plus 200 for Djokovic on the clay going for gold. I don't know. That's enticing with Djokovic, Scotty, at those numbers, but that Alcaraz, he just looks like a machine right now. I don't think I want to get in front of that tomorrow.
Well, and remember this. He beat his ass at Wimbledon. I mean,
Yes.
he just destroyed him in literally lunchtime. In less than an hour, he destroyed him. Straight sets. Good night.
Right. And this
like,
is
it's
and
over.
he only needs to win 2 sets here. It's not even
Yeah.
he only needs to win 2
Listen,
in this one.
This kid, he's so unbelievable. Let's face facts. Let's realize that Djokovic is the greatest majors men's tennis player of all time. There are guys that are more popular. There's guys that have more fans, that have more sponsors and all the rest. But nobody's got more hardware than the Joker. But it's obvious that it's passing the torch time. He's an old man now. That's it. No one wants to admit it, but he's old now. What is he, 37? He's got a knee brace on. He had his knee operated on. Nadal hit a wall in the last 16 months. His career's over. Federer, the year before that, career over. I mean, all three of them are hitting a wall. I know Djokovic is still good. There's no denying he gets to the final of any tournament he wants. But the reality is this, he can't beat that kid. That kid is dominant. He kicks his ass. He's like, this is not going to take long. You won't even break a sweat. I don't think he can beat him ever, anywhere.
Look, I think it'd be a very tough chore for him tomorrow in that final. That's for sure. As far as the golf goes, I told you I'd give you the leaderboard and the odds heading into the weekend. Schauffele, Matsuyama, and Fleetwood all at 11 under with 2 rounds to go. Rahm is 2 back at 9 under. Dietrich, I got big ticket on Dietrich for top 5.
What are you betting on? Listen, no one cares about all this. Give us your picks because all these names, they're all on the leaderboard. Everybody's got a shot. The reality is, what are you going to do to make us some money here?
Well, look, I have Rahm and Kim. You can get Rahm at plus 550. He's 2 back. I still like it. And Tom Kim is now 3 back as well. He's 3 back, and he's 16 to 1. I think it's Kim or Rahm. Those are the guys. If I wanted to take somebody outside those 3, I'd go with them. If I was picking the 3 at the top, Tommy Fleetwood, I think I would pick out of the 3 guys at the top. Over Xander
I'm still on Xander Schauffele.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. I'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
So I'll admit that I find it fascinating how the Ethiopians are dominating these distance races. Like, I'm watching this 10,000 meter men's final for the gold, and the three guys in the lead are all Ethiopian. Like, they're just like, have you ever seen anything like it? Like the Boston Marathon, the New York City Marathon, these Ethiopians show up and they just destroy everybody. I have to say, though, let's just get real here for a second. Watching distance running is it's clearly way behind booger eating in the car and like watching wrestling on Saturdays as a kid on the sofa eating Doritos, clearly ahead of it as well. Like, I just don't find the fascination. Is there anything worse, Carver High, than watching a marathon race on your television?
No, that's very low. I mean, there's like, what is there, like 50 or 60 different sports in this Summer Olympics? It's got to be near the bottom of ones that I would actually like want to watch and be there or go to it or do it. Like, what is there to do? They're just jog for an hour, a couple hours. It just goes on and on. It's the same thing over and over. Is it at least in the streets, or are they going around the track? Like, are they at least in the streets?
They got 17 laps to go. It's worse than NASCAR.
You can't even go out in the streets of Paris and have them run. That you can see some scenery at least. Like, they must do that too. There's got to be like a long
I always
distance.
love the cheaters, the ones that enter the race with like 5 miles to go, that come in fresh off the street, like around the corner in the way.
Here is, before I do some of the baseball from last night, I do have look at this, the updated medal count. Look what we're rolling with here on C2C. 41 for the United States. France is second. China with the most golds, though, with 13. The gold race is pretty tight there.
So I think it's 42-33 now. I saw an updated one a minute ago. I think the U.S. got their 18th silver. And so it's up to 42,
flip the silvers
33.
and the golds. Should be 18 golds, not 18 silvers. Yeah. You got to flip some of those silvers over to the other pile.
Everyone hates us. Everyone hates us.
That's true as well. All right, baseball last night. We have a couple of things. There was only a few games to discuss. Cleveland beat the Orioles 10-3. We rang the bell with Anthony Santander. We also rang the bell. You said J-Ram, Jose Ramirez, Valley Sports Great Lakes, going big fly here against the Birds last night.
Crushed deep right. Santander will wave goodbye. Jose Ramirez with a right hand to the chin of the Baltimore Orioles.
So he hit from the other side and still raked one for me.
That was actually because I was watching the game because I had so
he
much
went back
cooking.
to the left side?
That was on the left side from off a reliever.
Right.
Righty came in and he got to go back to the left side and he put one in the right field seats. That was from the left side. He got that cooking. But hey, they all count the same. So we had Santander in that one and Jose Ramirez ringing the bell for us. Royals beat the Tigers 7-1. Our boy, Vinny from the block, Vinny Pasquantino, not once, but twice against the Tigers. Bally Sports, Kansas City.
And here's Vinny, who drove in 3 yesterday in Chicago. And he's going to hit that one into right field and deep. Back goes Perez and gone for a 3-run first inning home run.
Wow, that was very exciting.
Man, I mean, geez, the Royals are playing some good baseball. Can we ramp it up a little bit? I mean, honestly, like, we're winning every night. Can we ramp up the excitement?
Guys hit 2 home runs in 2 days. He's raking. I mean, you would have thought he was going to church.
I mean, come on. The Braves beat the Marlins 4-2. To the window we go again with one of the hottest guys going right now, Matt Olson on Bally Sports South.
And Matt Olson, a couple of homers yesterday as we talked about. Is that another one for Matt Olson? You bet it is. Reservation for 2 at the Chop House, and it's 3-0.
Wow, your boy Olson finally seeing it.
Reservations at the Chop House for Matt Olson, who now, I'll give you some of the intel
good,
for the Lions share
like
later.
A little tomahawk. What do you think, Carver?
Yeah.
Like some prawns? Some
Yes.
dessert?
Olson with 5 homers in his last 6 games. That is as hot as it gets for Matt Olson right now and the Braves. The Cubs did beat the Cardinals on the walk-off 5-4. They're playing now 5-1 at Wrigley. The Cardinals did just get one back after the 5-0 lead. So bottom 4, the Businessman Special afternoon Friday in Chicago with the Cubbies up 5-1, and they are at the dish against Fetty, who's not having a good first start in St. Louis with the Cardinals. One more from last night. Rockies beat the Angels 5-4 in 10 innings. Rockies were down 2 in the top of the 9th. Jake Cave getting involved on MLB Net.
So Jake Cave, strikeout, fly ball to center, and a strikeout. In the air to deep center field. Did Cave get it? Yes, indeed. Game time, 2-run home run. Jake Cave, 4-4 in the ninth. He keeps doing special things, oftentimes late in the evening.
My man sounded like he was in the bleachers calling the game.
He did sound like that, indeed. So there you go. Short slate from last night. A few other things. Mike Trout, done for the season. Remember, we've been talking about the setback that he had last week, and then earlier this week they were shutting him down. Well, now they're really shutting him down. Meniscus tear, will not play the rest of the year. So unfortunately, Scotty, another lost year for Mike Trout out in Anaheim. Unbelievable.
You know, I think it's terrible because he's such a great player, right? When he's healthy, he's super dangerous. And he just hasn't been healthy these last couple of years. And it's amazing how badly this has turned into, right? Like, I even read a story today about how they still are glad they made that deal. And I'm not. Like, if I made that deal, I'd be like, oh, man, is this costing me a ton of money? The reality is it's what, $450 million? And he never plays. And it's all guaranteed, every penny.
Since 2021, which is really when all this started. In 2021, he played 36 games. In 22, he played 119. In 23 last year, he played 82. And he's only going to get 29 in this year. So you got, a 36 and a 29 and an 82. 3 years in the last 4, well under 100 games.
Yeah,
that just sucks. That's really the only way that you could describe it for him.
And even the 100 season is not good enough. Like, that's a lot of missed games.
That's a month. 100 buck 28, buck 29. So he missed 30 plus games. He missed a month plus of the season at that point. So he has not played a full season. since.
Do you think
really,
he'll ever be effective again? Like, are they? Like, it sounds to me like his knees are shot, and they keep
played
operating on him.
140 in 2018. $140 he played in 2018. That's the most games he's played since 159 in 2016. So that's really the last full workload cover to cover.
So what's your bet? Do you think he'll ever be Mike Trout again?
It's hard to say yes at this point. It's you know what it is. It's that he played 29 games this year. Like in that month of April, like he was crushing the ball. Like he was hitting taters. He was hot in April. So I guess he still has it. If he could ever play 5 months, like if he could ever play I think you could still get something out of him, but you can't rely on him anymore. You just can't.
His knees
He's
are
become the
shot.
most injured guy. Yeah.
I mean, how many times can they cut him up?
He can't keep doing that. Eventually, you just got to shut it down like they did here.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments. Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Oh, left hand from Ron Paul. Right hand, right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC's 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
All right, we got Coach James Young to talk Olympic basketball with us on a Friday. Thank God. Hey, Coach, I know you saw at least the one shot that I sent you of my new KDs, the orange and black ones. Did you like those puppies?
Oh, I mean, for Ferrall, I mean, happy belated birthday. I know I talked to you on your birthday, but those are fire, man. Listen, at the end of the day, there's nothing like getting a nice dinner and a couple of nice pairs of kicks on a birthday.
Did you see the other ones? I got the Tatums too, which I
know.
I don't approve of any Celtic tie-ins with me. I don't, as long as they're not green, I just pretend they're someone else's shoe. I'm not a fan of his work, but I like his shoes. They are badass, and I have them. They're in like lavender. To tell you, they are really purple and lavender. They are something. I mean, if I put him on and walk in the gym, I'm going to have chicks chasing me down the street.
I mean, you're probably walking in the gym with those puppies on. You already got about 15 points in the bag. You didn't even take a shot. So to me, listen, hey, you look good, you play good. So if the feet game is like the kids say on fleek, then you're obviously ready to go.
I feel good today. So what do you think? I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. I think Germany's better than France. I think Wembanyama's the best player, but I think Germany's a better team, and they're proving it right now.
Yeah, listen, the line was -4, and I thought it could have been a lot higher. I thought the only reason why it wasn't worse was the fact that it's in Paris. So when you look at it, France, particularly besides Wembanyama, they have the one kid that comes off the bench, shooter. The guard play is so important for L. Guard and small forward play. So 1 to 3. If you are better at the 1, 2, or 3 spot, the ability to handle the ball, handle pressure, create shots, right, for yourself and others, and shoot the ball, make them better. So when you look at Ups, you look at Schroeder, and you look at Wagner, that's better than Fournier and Nick Batum and the other kid for France. So to me, I'm not shocked Germany's winning. I'm just shocked how much it is. But if you looked at the way France has played, Ferrall, they haven't been at all impressive in the 2 games previous to this, even though they won both.
Well, Wembanyama's not doing anything in this game. He's got 8 rebounds and 1 block, and that's it.
Well, here's the thing. You got to get him the ball. Like, you got to have a guy that can get him the ball. And I don't think he's at a stage yet where he's just going to say, you know what, I got to start bombing away. Now, he's probably going to have to now down 21 points at halftime. But to me, it's guard play. The best player on the floor right now is Franz Wagner with 16 points. I mean, there's no other way around it. But Schroeder's playing a really good game. The shooter ups hasn't made any shots yet. And then they're more balanced, Ferrall. They have more guys that can hit you, and they have better guard play. And then when you're big, Ferrall, you know this, guards got to get you to pill. And if they can't get you to pill in spots, then you're not going to score.
Schroeder, I think, has been fantastic with 6 dimes to go with his 15. He's got 3 threes. We all know what this guy's capable of and what he does in the NBA. He can flat out play the point.
And I think here's the thing with Dennis Schroeder. To me, he's a fabulous point guard. I still think he blew it years ago when he had that 4 for 84 deal with the Lakers and turned it down, and he never made the money back. But even last year in the World Cup, I think he was the best player. So when you look at Schroeder, it's simply put, he could score, he's quick as a hiccup, and he create. What is Dennis Schroeder's hang-up at times? The ability to shoot the ball from the 3-point line. If you look at the game that Germany had with us beforehand, it was the fact that he didn't shoot the ball well from 3. But he also had a double-double. So Dennis Schroeder can get you in the spots. But if he's hitting Ferrall 3 out of 5 threes, that's a really dangerous sign because he can beat you to the cup, he can create for others, and then if he can knock the 3 down, now you got to get up in this space, and now those drives become even more dangerous.
Giannis won a game today. He had 20 points, 7 boards, 6 assists. They won their first game finally. Greece, they beat Australia.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Giannis is going to do what Giannis is going to do, but they just don't have a lot of others around them. So when you look at what happened, 9 of 26 from 3 from Australia, this is a team that lives and dies by the 3-point line. So you had good play out of Giannis, but you got a little bit more help. You had 2 other guys that got you, 3 other guys that got you to double figures. So it was more help around Giannis. That 1 and 2, those are tough games, and to me, Giannis has to carry that team on his back. He was able to get a win. So good for them to not be, 0-3 after the group stage.
So Canada's 3-0. Shea Gilgeous with 20 today. They beat Spain by 3.
Yeah, but they were also up, I think, 10 or 11. Or they were up a good amount at the break. So I think, to me, Canada's another team that's not playing I think, to the level of what I think they are absolutely capable of. So to me, SGA was really, really good. Dylan Brooks, pedestrian. RJ Barrett has played pretty well. His ability to get to his spots. They do a good job of getting into the lane and finish. I just think that's going to be a problem when they have to play a team like us, the Americans, because of Bam, because of Embiid, and because of AD, the shot blockers at the paint.
So let me ask you, the women play Sunday against Germany. They're both unbeaten. How do you think the U.S. women will do? And the men play tomorrow against Puerto Rico. That's not going to be a problem at all.
No, it's not going to be a problem. USA men win big. Whatever Embiid's prop is, go ahead and take it, because at the end of the day, they're going to force feed the ball to him after he got no playing time last game. In regards to the women, a little bit of a tricky spot. Last time they played Germany, Satu Sabali was really, really poor. I think 3 out of 17 from the floor. I think she's better. Look at Satu Sabali's props. Look for the USA to advance and win and cover the spread.
There you have it. All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rack of the rest of this game right now with Germany and France, and the game Saturday and the game Sunday. Thanks, buddy. Have a great weekend.
What has happened? What has transpired here at the First Bank Center here in Denver, Colorado? It wasn't just a big night of fight. It was a big night of memorable moments. Conor McGregor with us here in Denver, Colorado. Left hand from Ron Paul. Right hand right back from Mike Perry.
Can I get a face-off with Conor McGregor, man?
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and I have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. I'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight.
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Listen, if you're not on the daily racing forum, there's something wrong with you. And we got our guy Gino Bacola with us again on C2C. You can follow him at It's Me, Gino B. That is awesome. All right, Gino, good to see you. Let's start with the spa on Saturday. You got a couple of plays for us. Why don't we start with race 7? What's going on there?
Yeah, we got a couple for Saturday. This is one of the big races on the card. It's race number 7. I like a horse in here that's 8-1 on the morning line named Carson's Run, a horse who was very good last year at 2, and then in his first start this year at 3, had some trouble, but he really took a big step forward in that second start. That's what we want to see, and I think he's primed and ready to step up and face the big boys in this one. So he'll offer you some nice value there at around 8-1 on the morning line. I think I got one more for you tomorrow at Saratoga, right? And that's going to be in race number 11. I believe that's the big race of the day. That's the Whitney. That's where you're going to see National Treasure, who won last year's Preakness. He's going to be a big favorite in that race. But I think a horse, Bright Future, the number 9, who is 5-1 on the morning line, can sit a really nice trip. I love patterns. I like to play patterns, teams, sports like that. I like when you can see that a horse is kind of peaking and coming into the right race. That's going to be the case tomorrow with Bright Future. So we got an 8-1 shot and a 5-1 shot for you, a couple at Saratoga.
So trying to take out the heavy in that race 11, why don't you like that big name horse Treasure that everybody's talking about?
It's a huge field, and there's a lot of other early speed in there. National Treasure is very quick, and that's the way he runs. His running style is a fast, early pace horse. There's horses like Arthur's Ride to the outside, maybe 2 or 3 others that are as quick or possibly even quicker than National Treasure. I think if he wins that race, he's going to have to work very, very hard, and it's just not worth the price that he will be from a gambling standpoint. I want to look for horses that are going to be sitting in the spot right behind those horses in front. That's where I think Bright Future is going to be at around 5-1.
All right, so race 7, the 6-horse Carson's Run. You can get it at 8-1 right now, and race 11 on Saturday at the Spa, the 9-horse Bright Future, and you can taste it at 5-1 right now. Let's move out west.
Let's go to Del Mar.
Surf and Turf, Del Mar, and we've got 2 races on Saturday that you like. Let's start with race number 2.
This race, the number 3, I will be shocked if Demotivate is close to that 3-1 morning line. That's what he is right now. He may get bet down and be a little bit shorter because this horse, Scott, was so impressive. He had a slow start, and then from the outside, he moved about 4 or 5 lengths wide all the way up to take the lead. And then he got challenged multiple times, and he just kept putting horses away and kicking on. He looked like he was just kind of playing with horses out there. Every time someone came up to him, he just sort of extended and had another gear. I was very, very impressed with that one. That can hopefully get you started out at Del Mar, race number 2, the number 3, who's 3-1 on the morning line. We can do one of those old school traditional daily doubles where we go back to back and we give you a winner of race number 2 and then race number 3 at Del Mar. And this one will be a much bigger price. If we can look at Cardiff Crack and the races this horse has run going long on the turf, that's why he will fit really well in that spot. And if he is anything close to that 15-1 morning line price, Scott, that could be one of those real day maker horses. And that's what's great about horse racing. You can see when we're playing these odds, we're playing horses that are 3-1, 5-1, 8-1, 15-1. You don't have to win as often when you're playing prices like this.
I love that. And I also know that Gino likes to dabble in the NFL, which started last night. But you're looking at a future here on the Packers.
Yep, and we're going to go under. The Packers' win total has gotten all the way up to 9.5. So think about that. The Packers could finish the season 9-8, battling for a wild card spot, and you could still win your under at a plus 112 price right now. You go through their schedule. They've got tough games. They play Philly, games at the Rams, at Tennessee. That might be tough. They have to play Houston and Detroit back, Detroit home and away. Houston, they get it home. Coming off the bye, they go at Chicago, San Francisco, Miami, at Detroit, at Seattle, New Orleans. That is not an easy schedule for this team. I think they're solid, but they're still young, and they don't really have a lot of veteran presence. So I'm going to go under there. For everyone, as we get ready to finish up here, make sure you head to drf.com and shop.drf.com for all the products you need to help in your handicap in the races. Let's crush it this weekend, Scotty.
Gino, my man, great stuff. Have a great weekend, buddy.